when I see it out, I could be disrespectful, but I don't like seeing it because it's not love. It's half of it is fetish. The other half of it is that black men have self-hate issues, and they say that they don't date black women. That's detrimental to the community, and it's detrimental to their own mental health because they have issues if they don't date people who look like their mothers. Like they say, oh, I've had black men tell me I don't date black women, right? But their mother is black. They're just as dark as me. Their mother is black. All of their family members are black, but they don't date black women. It's a self-hate problem. Like you're saying that you don't find yourself beautiful if you don't find me beautiful, because brother, we look the same.
Yeah, but so, isn't there intrinsically a problem with that? I mean, one of the things that sometimes makes somebody attractive is the fact that they don't look exactly like you. Because I mean, I would hate to be dating myself.
No, honestly, no, because people are homogamous. That's just how we are.
Oh no, they're not. Races they're absolutely not homogamous.
Well, I mean, races do that. White people date white people. Majority, sure. Like Asian people do that. Asian people, and they find beauty within themselves.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's. Bound to simply because a people group doesn't mean that you have to date within that people.
Well, see, but if it was love, I would say okay, they found love.
Yeah, but the thing is you're making a presumption.
But here's what I know.
You don't know what's in anybody's heart. You're just looking at these people. You're looking at these people, and you're making the assumption that there's something nefarious.
I'm putting two and two together. When you listen to the music, it's when you listen to the music. Number one, you can see how basically they're putting black women down. If you listen to the song Redbone, she's gonna shake it like a red bone. A red bone is a term for a light-skinned black woman, and they say we don't want darky, something other in the part. So they say that in the song, and it's always in the music. How okay, and now I want a light-skinned, big booty, long hair chick. Mm-hmm. It's in the culture. Sure. If you follow the culture, it's in the culture that it's preferable to have a more racially ambiguous looking woman who has black features. Because black features, it's the big lips, it's the kinky hair, and it's the big fat ass. That's just how it is. That might be a stereotype, but it's real. Black women got fat asses and big lips. But what you see is that these women who don't have that naturally get shot up with that, and these black men love it. As soon as a black man get put on, as soon as he becomes affluent with, he's an athlete or he's a music star, as soon as he does that, his preference in women changes. Kanye West, for example.
No, I mean I don't disagree with the premise.
Because it's real. I bet you white women don't have to go through their own men telling them, "Oh, I don't date you. I don't date you. I date another type of woman." And see that isn't anybody who said it. Well, you're an anomaly.
I do that.
You're an anomaly. And that's the thing, because anybody who says that they're for the community, right? Black women are seen as having a dominating attitude, and you better know it. And the thing about it is that black men are strong, and a black man knows how to handle that. But
hey, listen,
no, I'm not.
You're full of stereotypes. I mean,
But black men are
such
strong.
An enormously broad brush. You're giving an entire people group.
We're not a monolith.
I know that. Are
I know that we're not a monolith.
Huh?
But I'm saying in who we are. But I'm saying.
So then why are you treating it as such? Why are you saying that black men are?
And I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. But what I'm saying, you did have an incorrect statement. Intrinsically, we are strong because of what we go through. You can see that, and it's a whole book on that about how when is being seen as a strong black woman almost taking our humanity away from us because we don't get to feel and because we don't get to do things.
Hey, listen. If you're
That's
intrinsically
not true.
strong, then nothing can
Because
be taken from you.
just because I'm strong doesn't mean I don't
Of course
feel.
it is.
Just because I'm strong doesn't mean I'm not feminine.
Like the hallmark of strength is
I don't know what
victory.
you mean by that, but
That means in order for strength to be characteristic as a trait, you actually have to be able to win the
that's
battle.
not true.
Otherwise, your
That's
strength
not
does you no
true.
good.
No, that's
So
not
if
true.
something's well, of course it is. How good is your
That's not
strength if
true.
you lose your culture and your identity?
I'll say we're strong
That's no
because of
fucking good.
what we've been through, and we're not destroyed, and because we're still prospering, and that's why we're strong.
Oh
We should have been
shit!
destroyed off of we should have been destroyed off of the attempted genocide.
How could you have been destroyed? Why would you have been destroyed? There was no attempt on
You don't call
genocide. There
well,
was an
no. You have to
attempt on
understand
forced labor.
genocide has many faces. It's
Yes.
not just the killing. It's no
No,
there
it
are other
does
ways in
not.
genocide.
Genocide has a very simple definition.
Yes.
It is the extermination
Yes.
of a race.
There
Yes,
there
there was
is
no efforts
there
made to
was there
exterminate the black race.
was
There was
there
there was
was
effort. No, there was
there was
not. No, there was
maybe
not.
not physically, but in other ways. But
By
that's off
whom?
topic.
By
What I'm
whom?
saying is that what
Come
no,
on.
I can
That's
defend
not
the
off topic.
position.
You just can't
Genocide.
defend the
I can
position.
defend the position. I can defend the
No, you
position.
can't.
If you're saying no,
You're
if you're
spouting
saying
nothing but
that
platitudes and
disenfranchising of
nothing but.
people for centuries, making it and no, but it is
That's
genocide.
not
If
genocide.
you try to debilitate
Yes,
the quality of life for an entire people, that will the
that's called
well
subjugation. That's what Europe
well
went through before the Enlightenment. Every single person in the history of the world
that
has
well
been under the
not the way
heel of
that
a
black people
tyrant.
have, not the way that black people
Every
have.
single people group. Oh, bullshit. The Germans were under
No, not the
Roman
way
rule
that
for
black people
400
have. Not the
years.
way that black people have. Chattel
Yes.
slavery.
The Jews were the Jews were
Chattel
almost
slavery is
exterminated from the
different than
face of the
any type of
planet.
servitude. Of course, right.
Well,
We
of
gotta
course it's
acknowledge that.
different, but it
We
doesn't
gotta
matter.
acknowledge
We're
that, and we
talking
gotta
about
acknowledge the
genocide.
legacy of that and how it has.
Why? Why? Because your brand of history
Yes.
is a little bit different than everybody else's. So you're suddenly entitled to some great
No, I'm not
acknowledgement of
saying that.
strength
No, I'm not saying.
because
No,
you
I'm not saying
survived
that
a
you have to
specific type
acknowledge
of
that. I'm just
enslavement.
saying that that's the
Mm.
truth. And you can see it, in other ways.
But your
You
truth
can
does you
see it
no
in
good
many
because it
ways.
doesn't
The
further
fact
your
that
point.
black suicide rates are so low compared to white suicide rates because black people feel like they can handle more based off of what they've been through. So you see that in everyday life. But I'm not finished with
Okay,
my point. But I'm not
why,
finished with my
hold on a
point. We
second.
have to have a
Hold on a
conversation
second.
here.
Why is
I'm
that
not
a
finished.
strength?
What I'm saying to you is that I know black people aren't a monolith. I know that we're not all strong. I know that we're different and individual. Also, on the same token, patterns exist. We cannot act like everybody is an individual and that things just happen. It doesn't. If black men don't choose black women in alarming rates, more so than any other race of men, we have to ask why. And what I'm saying is that they're suffering from the same white supremacy that we all are. We're all suffering from that white supremacy, but they're feeling it a little bit different. And it's self-hate. If you're saying that you don't find a woman beautiful who looks just like your mother, who looks like you, then that's a problem. And it's not based off of and let me say this,
No, it's not. First of all, it's not a
I
problem.
date black men exclusively. But I
What are you
don't
talking about, though?
I
Yeah,
find
okay.
men attractive of every race. I don't say that. Oh,
Yeah,
white men are.
I heard
I
that part.
haven't. No,
I
I've
know.
seen white men that look good. I've seen Asian men that look good. I've seen Hispanic men that look good. But I choose black
I
men.
got you. But your caveat does you no good. You
Right,
already said you exclusively date
right.
within your own race and you do it for political reasons. So that
Why?
in and of itself is a problem. Why would you choose to procreate? Why would you choose to marry
No,
somebody simply for the furtherance of your own race?
no, no,
That
no.
is
I'm
inherently
no,
ethnocentric. And ethnocentrism is the
no. That's not
entire
true.
root cause of
That's not
racism.
true. Because here's the thing.
Yes, yes, it
Here's the
is.
thing. Though. White
That's
people
literally
do it.
what
They
it
just don't
means.
say it for the same reason that I'm saying it. White people don't marry black people. It's not
Well, it's
wrong.
wrong when
It's
white
not. Hey,
people do it
listen. No,
too.
listen. Let me let you know something.
Of course it is.
It's.
Of course it
I
is.
know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to love people. Yada 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 yada. But there's nothing wrong with
Apparently not.
culture. There's nothing wrong with race, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to preserve that. And I'm not saying that for any other reason. I'm saying that I want my kids to look at their black mother and black father and see love. because that is not what is portrayed. We don't portray black love on TV. We don't portray a loving black father loving his son. We've only seen that in one movie, Moonlight. We don't portray those things. So
how does this tie into you saying that you
here's
don't like
how,
to
because I
see
know
black
that
men with white women? What, they can't have an interracial child and they can't see that kind of love between a white man and a black woman, or vice versa? Why the hell does the level of melanin in your skin determine the amount of love you have in a family?
I'm not saying that you don't love your wife. I'm not saying that it can't happen. What I'm saying is that when it happens between a black man and a white woman, when that happens, most of the time, sometimes it is by happenstance and sometimes it is love. Other times it comes from a level of self-hate that the black man has and a level of fetishism that the white woman has. And we see it in the culture. We see it how black men treat us. We see it how they glorify white women. We see it how they glorify racially ambiguous women. How they say that they hate their own skin color. A famous rapper, Kodak Black, said that I don't like my skin. I'm quoting him. He said that I don't like my skin color. I don't like women who look like me. I like women lighter than me because we can break them down easier. Because women who are my skin color are too tough. That's his words. I'm using it verbatim.
Yeah, but you realize you're taking the words of an individual and using that for the basis of an entire political ideology.
That is the sentiment that is in the community, especially with darker skinned black men who are. I would think that lighter skinned black men would do that, but darker skinned black men have this sentiment that that black women, brown skin and darker skin, are not their first choice, and it is because of white supremacy that they have internalized. It is why.
Not because of white supremacy.
No, what is it?
Why is it not because of white supremacy? Because you're just hinting at the problem this entire time. You've gone on this lengthy diatribe about you wanting to preserve your culture. You realize that you're self-segregating yourself and then talking about white supremacy. The whole point of defeating white supremacy is that you can live with other people of other cultural backgrounds and other skin colors and even intermarry with them.
I'm not.
And you're sitting here self-segregating yourself for the preservation of culture like you're fucking goose-stepping.
I'm not.
I mean, but it is.
I don't feel like I'm
racial
superior.
Superiority complex.
I don't feel like I'm superior. No, I don't feel like I'm superior.
You're not? Well, if you're not superior, then why would you cast a
because it's not love. It's not love.
Race?
Because it's
How
it's
the
a
fuck
pattern.
do you know that?
No, because they say why in the song. We yelling at each other. We yelling at each other. Hold on. We're yelling at each other. It's not my universe. It's my community. The black community. It's not a little universe. It's a culture. Don't be disrespectful. What I'm saying is that it's a sentiment. And if you're married to a black woman, I'm sure you know this. It's a sentiment within the black community. It's called colorism. That lighter skin is better. Yeah, lighter skin is better.
Oh, I know.
Lighter women are looked at as trophy. Blacker, darker women are looked at as less desirable, even though that.
I know it exists. Hey, but check this out. Right? Some people like taller men. Some people like shorter men. Some people like muscular men. Some people like skinnier men. Some people like big women. Some people like skinny women.
You can't chalk this up. You can't chalk all this up to preference.
That's actually hold on. Let me finish my point and not interrupt. Okay? So my mother is a clinical psychologist. I grew up around this. I know a little bit about this. Your love map happens during childhood socialization. What you're pointing out as a cultural problem is something that happens as kids. These things that people find attractive, it's something that you develop at early childhood. So what your solution is to all of this, because you regard it as a problem, is to make your whole community insular from white influence so that you can preserve your culture, not realizing that you're a minority living in a sea of fucking white people.
Yeah,
you will never be able to win this battle. No, fuck you will. How?
No. See, that's the problem. White people have a violent way of thinking because violence has been done to us. They feel like that's how we're going to retaliate to them. That's why they're so scared of the numbers getting different, the population numbers changing. That's not necessarily the truth. Asian people are the most homogamous people ever. They marry within their race. They date within their race.
And
They
they get a
do.
lot of
They
shit when they
do.
try to marry outside their race. Yeah, you know what?
They
It's wrong
do. You
for them
know,
too.
they do.
It's
For
wrong for them
cultural
too.
reasons, you know, they're able to make businesses. They're able to create wealth, generational wealth, and advance their community. I'm not saying that it's all good. They have a lot of problems and issues because of it, but there's a positive side to it. Um, what I am saying is that I get your point, okay? That we should all love each other and it's great. You know, I get that. I get
You
that. But
No,
what
that's not
I'm
what I'm saying.
saying is
That's not
that
what I'm saying.
it's okay. It's okay to have differences. It's okay that I am the color that I am, that my race was preserved so much that I can be so different from you, who looks very different from me. See, now if we all had this idea
But listen,
of mixing, and mixing was so great, and mixing and mixing and mixing, we would all pretty much look the same hue of some brown, you know? And I don't necessarily think that's a good thing, because we would all be the same. So what I'm saying is that, and especially it's not a
mm,
good thing when there's a lot of evidence that it's not based off of love, that it's based off of colorism, especially when these women look a certain type of way. These women are very racially ambiguous, with these fat asses, with these big lips that they surgically implant, in order to
y-
look more like us. I'm not finished.
yeah,
And
but listen.
that.
Here's the problem with. But
Okay, go
these, yeah,
ahead.
like 10 minutes later. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you make like 10,000 points. At some point, I'm going to have to
All
be
right.
able to defend at least one of my positions before you go on. So you're talking about women being, this racially ambiguous, like they want to appear like they're black, right? They start getting
Yeah.
bigger lips, bigger butts, whatever. I mean, and I think probably you're going to consider that to be a negative aspect of
Uh-huh.
like cultural appropriation. But how the hell are you going to argue on one hand that you want to preserve culture, but then cast down negatively on other people that want to mimic your culture, which is really just the greatest form of
No.
honoring somebody else's culture is mimicking it, right? So what's wrong with it? I mean, you're talking about everybody. Oh, it's white majority culture. Everybody wants to be white. Everybody wants to date white women. But then you're saying that there's white women who
I
want to
will.
look black. So the reverse is also
Here's
true.
the thing. Like, if I
I
wasn't
don't
black, I'd want to be
understand.
black too. I get it. The thing about it is that it's a way that you go about it. It's a way that you go about it. I mean, let's be real. White women have been doing it for a
Yeah,
long time,
apparently.
ever since. Um, I know you seen huh?
Oh, hold on. Aren't you doing it too?
No,
Aren't you culturally appropriating too?
no,
You don't. So
no.
you
This
don't
is a
use
this is a this is
relaxer in your hair.
this is a wig, but this isn't
You
culture
don't try to.
appropriation, because black women. Here's how black
Oh, how
women
the
are
fuck
born
is
with
that not
straight hair
cultural?
all across the globe. And culture isn't and culture straight hair isn't
Really?
a culture.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, whoa, whoa!
yeah, yeah.
I want you to
Yes,
backtrack,
and some
backpedal that.
yes,
Black women
you
are
have to do your
born all
history
across.
when
With,
you not. Well, no, here's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know. I'm not going to do my history.
A lot
What
of black
culture
people feel
on
like.
the planet?
See,
What
I'm a
African
black woman who
culture has
knows her
straight hair?
history. A lot of black people feel like black.
You
Give me a
keep saying
second.
that,
Give
but I
me a
want you
second.
to cite a
I am.
tribe.
Just give me a
Give me a
second. A lot
geographic
of black
location.
people feel like their history started with the transatlantic slave trade. It didn't. When you do your history of the different tribes in Africa, the different styles that they had, the different textures. There are black people born with blonde hair and blue eyes that are. Yeah, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
they're called
no, no,
albinos. It's
no. See, that's
albinism.
the thing. See, that's the
Or
thing.
are
That's
you
the
talking
thing. You
about the
don't you
disorder with the
don't
lack of
know you don't
melanin?
know all of it. And see, that's why when you do your history, you see that there are black people. It's so many different types of genetic forms of black people than there are.
There
No, there
are
is
no
in Africa.
tribes of African blonde hair, blue eyed. No, there isn't. You're talking about individual anomalies,
See,
genetic
this the
anomalies.
problem.
There
See,
are
I like
no
learning. What's your name?
black
What's your
Africans
name?
that are born with long,
My name's
straight
Lana.
black
Mark.
hair.
I like learning
Huh?
new things.
Mark.
When people tell me something new and I don't really know what, I be like, I don't really believe that, but I'm gonna go and research it myself. I know it. I've researched it. I've looked at the pictures. They're
Listen
beautiful.
to me.
And
What you're
I'll answer your
mimicking
question
is
in
not
another way.
some
I'll answer your question
weird
in a
African
fine. I'll
tribe
answer
with
your question
straight
in
hair.
another way.
You're mimicking European long white hair.
Hair is not culture. for white people. Hair is not culture. White people do not
What the fuck?
celebrate.
It's
White
not.
people do not celebrate
So
their
if I
hair.
walk out with
And many
dreadlocks
people have
tomorrow,
straight
you're not
hair.
gonna say that's
Latino
cultural
people have straight
appropriation?
hair. Asian people have straight hair. It is not appropriating any culture, and they don't use it as culture. They
And
don't use it
Latino
as
people also
culture.
have
In
European
African tribes,
ancestry.
you see that they do many different things with their hair. If you see the Black Panther movie, they were very culturally correct when they did.
Jesus Christ, Black Panther is
Yeah.
written by a white person. You realize that it's about a fictional country in Africa.
I'm just making a reference to
the
like their hair in the movie. It was real. It was culturally correct. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It's
but
fantasy.
the
some
hair,
white guy
the
wrote it.
hair that the people
Actually,
had
two
in the
white people
movie,
wrote
like
it.
with the clay and stuff, it was real. It's like it's culturally correct. People in Africa have that. That's the only point I'm making.
Yeah, but
That's the only point I'm making.
that's
That's the only
that's
point I'm
not
making.
natural
But
straight
hair
hair.
is cultural for Black people. For other people, it's not. That's how it's not cultural appropriation. That's what I'm saying. But back onto the point, it's not flattery. It's not flattery when it's been used against Black women for so long. When here's how
How is it used
because
against you?
people, the women in my family, myself included, we have a form of curvy form, and it's looked at as it's sexualized. And when
Okay. Well, that's
yeah,
because
but it's
curves on women
different.
are
But it's
generally
different.
sexualized.
No,
Even if
it's different. When you're a Black woman and you have and people look at you a certain type of way, like, oh, you must be so, ooh, you must be like this and you must be like that, and like you a freak almost for having the body that you have. But when other people, it's looked at a different type of way. You know what I mean? It's looked at like, oh yeah, no, she's just beautiful. Oh wow, look at her. She's lighter skin, so she's more gentle and more. That's just the connotation that's around it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'll say this. Like I said before, if I wasn't Black, I'd want to be Black too. It's a certain way you go about it. Kim Kardashian, case in point. She loves Black women so much, bless her heart, but she'll never say it. She'll never say that because, oh yeah, they love
no,
Black people. They
the
love
whole
Black
family
people.
does.
Except Kanye.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with
there's
that.
nothing wrong
But
with
the
that.
thing about it is that you go about it a certain type of way. And uh-huh.
So, but why are you mad that Kanye? Why are you mad that
Here's
Kanye's dating outside of his own race?
I'm not mad
I
that
mean,
he's
first of all,
dating
you're picking
outside
like
his
a
race.
really
Get
piss
it
poor
correct.
representative,
If he
right?
was dating an Asian woman, it would be different. If he was dating a Latino woman, it would be different.
Oh, just
It's
the
just
white
white women
It's
and
just
racially
white
ambiguous
women.
looking women with fat asses and big lips. Yeah.
So you're telling me that if a Black man said that he refuses to date Black women, right, because they can't, like, what did the rapper say? Because they take too much to break, because they're too strong, and so he gets himself a nice subservient, stereotypically subservient Asian woman, that's okay
No.
because she's not white. Okay.
No,
So
here's
we're
what I'm
gonna have some
saying. Here's what
consistency
I'm
across that,
saying.
right?
Here's
You
what I'm
don't
saying.
like Black men dating outside their race.
It's a problem for me. I choose to date Black men. That is my choice. That's what's gonna happen. If the Lord tells me your husband is white, I will fight him tooth and nail. But if my husband is white, my husband's gonna be white.
Trust me, your
Probably
husband will
not.
not
But if
want you if that
the
happens.
Lord has made rarer things happen, Jesus walked on water. Anything is possible. If that is what's gonna happen, that's gonna be my husband. Fuck it. But the thing about it is that I will never in my life say that I don't date this person. I don't date Eastern Pacific people. What the fuck? You've never seen somebody who's East Pacific who's attractive? You're not. It's not preference anymore. You're setting yourself aside, and it's a reason why. So I'm not saying that if he dates a Asian subservient, whatever he's a submissive woman, right? That's fine. But the thing about it is that if he's doing that in protest to dating Black women, that's still wrong. And it's still self-hate. So,
Uh, let me
all right,
I got to head inside to take care of my kids here, but let me close with it. I don't really have a problem with
right,
what you choose to do in your personal life, right?
mm-hmm.
If you choose to date within your own race, that's fine. And if you choose to say that you don't like it when
Yeah,
black men date outside their race, that's fine too. And I can even agree with the fact that it's probably wrong for a person to date outside of their race
exactly.
specifically because they can't stand their own race. But what I will,
Oh damn, he.
I'm right here. I'm right
Oh great, you was making a point. I was like, damn, I
Yeah.
missed
So
his
what I
point.
well absolutely not agree with is that you can know the hearts and minds of a black man when he dates outside of his race. And I feel like you've put this broad stroke across all black men dating outside their race that you automatically attribute motive that you couldn't possibly know. So you know what? You spoke about Jesus walking on the water. I take it you're a religious person. Why don't you take this one and lay it at the foot of the cross because that's where it belongs.
And I'll close out and say that I have, and I try to give black men as much slack as I can. But when you are a black man and you know how hard it is to be a black woman, to live in this world, to have all of that on your back, and to be as unmarried as we are, even if I maybe do have preferences, I'm gonna give that extra thought before I make my choice. So I really believe that it's their responsibility. But I know you gotta go take care of your kids.
Yeah.
So thanks for the conversation.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.